the Kryptonaut Podcast. I'm Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is...
I'm Chris Carnasale.
And...
Rob Morphy.
Be sure to follow us on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out. We're there to like, follow, comment. We're pretty active on all of them. I'm going to say... we need to concentrate a little bit more on the old Instagrams. We got to get a couple more followers over there. So,
fair enough.
Twitter and Facebook going strong. But hey, if you got an Instagram account, look us up. We're there.
Yes, we are.
We're doing it. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Be sure to rate and review the show on iTunes and the Apple Podcasts app. You can do that right from your phone, which is kind of cool.
Very convenient.
Yeah, definitely convenient. Thank you, Apple, for the convenience. And we got a couple of reviews to read before we get started with today's show. So let's kick it off with the title of this review is a 5-star review, and it says 3 DILFs and Cryptids.
Wow.
We're
DILFs.
Yeah. All right.
Well, one's a DILF.
Written by Hellboy's Government Paycheck.
That's
That's a pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet name.
That's a great moniker.
All right, so Hellboy's Government Paycheck goes on to say, these guys are the best. They deliver information on the most obscure and creepy cryptids with so much respect and humor, you can't help but feel like you're just hanging out with some friends. 10 out of 10. Thank you very much.
Oh, hot damn.
Sweet.
Thank
Hellboy's
you.
Government Paycheck. Very cool. Next one here. So much fun from Devical. We're going to go with Devical. That works. 5-star review. I stumbled across these crazy dudes a week ago, and I wish there were more episodes. The hosts have such great chemistry and always find myself laughing at something. They bring both fun and spooky to each story that they tell. I have a hard time finding podcasts to talk about cryptids or the paranormal, and I'm very happy to have found these explorers of the weird.
I love that title.
It's definitely
Yeah,
that's
weird.
cool.
Yes.
I was super surprised and happy to listen to the Mill Race Monster. Many thumbs up from the home of the bowl.
Oh, snap.
Keep up the awesome
Snap.
work, guys. Thank you very much, Devil Kel.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet.
Okay, moving on here. Another 5-star review from Betty Ray. Extremely fun and entertaining. I heard about this podcast from a recent episode of the Monsters Among Us podcast and decided to give it a listen. I have to say, I'm not disappointed. These guys are a perfect combination of humor and seriousness. I highly recommend giving them a listen. Oh, there you go. A little love from Monsters Among Us podcast. Shout out to Derek. Check that show out. You should definitely sign up for the Patreon because I have an episode on there and you can listen to that. So,
Yay,
there
Dad.
you go.
Nepotism.
Nepotism.
You're
Okay,
famous.
I can't. It's a 5-star review from Digi. It says, "Good fudging podcast, my dudes. Fun listen."
That's
I
awesome.
like that.
Fudging.
I appreciate that review.
And I
It's a-
like that they kept it classy.
Yeah, I like
Unlike us.
yeah, exactly. I like that. All right. Love this podcast from David Gale 82, 5-star review. I've been looking for a good podcast about cryptids for a long time. Thankfully, I found a great one in the Kryptonaut podcast. I love how relaxed yet informative the hosts are. Keep up the great work, guys. Would love to see some merch. Actually, we have a merch store in the description of this podcast. There's a link for our TeePublic shop. We have 2 designs up right now. We recently launched the 3 of us.
Yep.
On
The
a
Charlie's
t-shirt.
Angel shirt, we call it, personally.
Yeah. So we got
Us 3 bootylicious
2
babes.
designs. We got 2 designs up, and we got more designs coming. So to round off the review section here, we're gonna follow it up with one last review here from Pineapple 458. Good podcast, 3-star review.
Wicked.
What? Unthinkable.
I think what this might be, though, this might just be some cross wires or some possible miscommunication or improper use of, some sort of tablet. So it says, entertaining, but please work on the sound volume and quality. At max volume, it is hard to hear without sticking my ear over the output.
Mm-hmm. That's been my beef from word go. Yeah.
So I think what this person might be doing is listening to us like on some sort of tablet, but with no headphones.
Oh, that would be tough.
Yeah, because when I hear them say, like, without sticking my ear over the output, for some reason...
That implies a lack of headphones.
For some reason,
Yeah,
or I think that they're backwards and upside down, trying to listen to the podcast.
Oh, that would suck.
So, I listen to our show, obviously on headphones, but I also have like an Alexa and like a Bluetooth speaker in my car. But yeah, I think most any podcast that you're going to listen to playing it just through a device on the device speaker is not going to be the best quality that you can listen to it at.
It's a little tiny baby speaker.
That's the deal.
So do us a
You need
favor.
headphones.
Pineapple 458. First of all, thank you for the review. I'm glad that you do enjoy the podcast. And as far as the sound quality goes, get yourself a nice pair of headphones, plug them bad boys in, give it a listen, let us know what you think then. And if you can go back and, just follow up that review with hey, I listened on some headphones or like a stereo. And
Maybe it
everything's
sucked
cool.
less.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I even have a pair of like dollar store buds, literally dollar store buds that I had to grab at the last second when I was heading somewhere and I needed to hear shit, and that was what I had access to. And I still, from my tablet, when I'm researching some weird alien or monster stuff, I'll be listening to us sometimes while I'm researching, because it's multitask day. And even these shitty little buds, they sound pretty good. So
yeah, totally. Check it out.
But nice headphones are always better.
Yeah.
I like the big cushy ones on your ears, like the old school 70s ones that like cover half your skull.
Well, it's just they're kind of not the huge ones, but like, the skull
But they're still
candy or
soft
whatever.
and-
Like they're making a
Right.
comeback at least like real headphones. Like earbuds will
I
only get
listened
you
to
so
my,
far.
my nephew's Beats once, and I felt like I was transported into another universe.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are next
of
level.
glory and sound.
I can't afford Beats.
Oh,
but,
no.
But, I just rock my regular earbuds. Like I live in them, so
They're kind of awkward to
I
me.
like 'em. I mean,
like
they
they
sound
feel
good.
weird in my ear. I don't care
Right.
for them, but
no.
still, you can hear it. So give
Yeah.
it a shout or a shot, and then give us a
Yeah.
Or
shout.
you know what? Just get a hold of me and let me know how you're listening to this, because I'm completely confused as far as putting your ear over the output. Like I'm not sure what is going on there. But I mean, hey, they said that it was a good podcast. And,
No, I appreciate that.
I know,
yeah,
and
we
3
can-
stars. That's not so bad.
We're just gonna help you listen in a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the sound to you. So this week we have the Fanged Humanoids of Kofu.
Indeed.
Kofu.
Let's get this started with. In the winter of 1975, 2 grade school boys had a shocking face-to-face confrontation with a pair of small, wrinkled, triple-fanged ufonauts that immediately propelled the distraught adolescents squarely into the eye of a nationwide media maelstrom.
Oh, I love that word. Maelstrom's a great word.
I think I pulled that off, right?
I love
did.
maelstroms.
Okay, good.
I was really
They're
proud of you.
scary.
Yeah, maelstroms are scary.
Yeah, it's never good.
This is going to take us to the land of Japan.
Oh, I
One
love
of our
Japan.
favorite
Oh,
favorite
it's just
places
about
to
my
visit,
favorite
at
place.
least through entertainment, because I don't think any of us have ever been there.
I've not.
No.
Someday. Sometime before 7 p.m. on the evening of February 23rd, 1975, 2 7-year-old boys, Masato Kawano and Katsuhiro Yamahata, were roller skating near their Hinode housing estate in Kaminachi,
I'm
Kofu City.
just going to assume you're saying this all right.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Here's the thing. I literally put in parentheses after it, Hin-O-Day
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, nice.
Kamimachi.
Oh, good.
So I actually go to YouTube and say, how do you pronounce these things? Because I am a fucking nightmare.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
So I'm probably still mispronouncing it. But anyway, they're in Kofu City roller skating because that's what you do in the 70s.
Well, duh.
You roller skate
I
your
did.
tits off. That's what happens.
Completely did.
When the pair noticed 2 glittering orange UFOs cavorting in the sky above them.
I
Cavorting.
like that.
Cavorting
Couple
with
UFOs
motherfuckers.
cavorting in the back of the car on a Saturday.
That's how you do.
That's how you cavort with your UFO.
The enthralled boys stared in astonishment as the larger of the 2 objects broke off and flew northwest towards Mount Otago, while the smaller craft slowly descended to the ground, landing amongst the props of a vineyard located behind the estate. So behind the apartment complex where they
vineyard.
live is a vineyard.
Okay, nice.
The legendary vineyards of Japan.
Yeah, I know.
Which I've never heard of before, but of course, I mean, they grow grapes everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
And so they see this one object takes off towards the mountains to the northwest, one lands behind their apartment complex. It's on.
Cool.
Yep. The boys later confirmed that despite the distance, the descending aerial anomaly could be heard emitting an odd series of crackling or quote-unquote ticking sounds, not unlike that of a Geiger counter. It's always a disturbing sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crackly.
Yeah.
Not good.
Or
Radiation.
like tinfoil in a microwave.
Yeah.
Just a bad scene.
Oh, like exploding.
Well,
Exploding lightning death.
that's horrible.
Tinfoil in the microwave.
It goes without saying that the curious youngsters wasted no time in removing their skates and charging into the vineyard in order to get a better look at this now earthbound object.
Brave.
As the courageous noted, and perhaps a wee bit impulsive second graders approached the formerly orange quote-unquote spacecraft, they noted that it now resembled a domed silver disc which stood approximately 7 feet high and was roughly 15 feet in diameter.
Respectable dimensions for a UFO.
Yeah, solid.
Unlike previous, it was a 3-foot tall, 10-foot wide.
Yeah.
With the
That's the Domston
the
blobs.
Domston blobs,
the
yeah.
terrible flying jelly
yeah,
bags.
that's still seven is a little.
We've seen some micronauts, as I've dubbed them, the little tiny aliens that are like 3 inches tall
Yeah.
that invade Indonesia. I've written articles about them. Surely we'll do them someday. I know. I promise that all the time. And they've arrived in UFOs smaller than this table, like ridiculous. Like the daytime ended
Yeah,
small.
they're
if
just
you
like
remember that
escape
movie.
pods, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. But they're little tiny aliens, so I mean everything's relative. Okay. The now classically shaped flying saucer was perched on 3 ball-shaped legs. That's what they said, quote unquote, ball-shaped legs. They weren't legs, obviously. They're just half circles on the bottom of
Like
the.
Powerpuff Girls?
Right.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause they have
actually,
little
yeah.
Powerpuff
Sort of,
legs.
yeah.
That's funny. And had what the children described as strange characters embossed on the metal surface of the hull. What's interesting about these strange characters are when you go to the article, which will be linked to this podcast, you will see the drawing of the UFO that one of the kids made. And the characters, they said, actually looked like Japanese writing, but wasn't. And it does. For someone that doesn't read Japanese, which is all of us, it looks just like Japanese writing.
All
But
right.
apparently
But it's
it was
nonsense.
nonsense. Yeah.
All right.
So...
Right.
While inspecting the craft, both Kawano and Yamahata were astounded to see a hatch open on the side and a ladder automatically extending down to the ground below.
Oh.
Sounds
Auto ladders.
pretty cut and dry to me.
Yep.
Classic UFO landing
Exactly.
device.
Classic.
Classic.
Standard
Vintage.
operating
Yeah,
procedures.
that's how they do it.
The boys stared in stunned silence as a peculiar, long-armed humanoid being disembarked from the ship. It was at that moment that the boys noticed another, slightly smaller though virtually identical entity that remained inside what was apparently the object's button and lever-filled control room. That's what they just described
I
it
love
as.
buttons
It was
and
buttons
levers.
and levers for days.
Yeah.
You know, none of that fucking fancy touch screen shit
No,
that's so
old
annoying.
school, yeah.
You need
Big
buttons
ass
and
buttons.
fucking levers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you adjust the lever and you push the button and then you connect the cord and you do the thing.
You do it.
Yeah.
It's old school.
Dial.
Yeah, it's actually, yeah.
Old school
Push a
NORAD war
button.
games or mission control.
Totally. Do big CRT.
Ropes and pulleys.
circuits.
Kawano and Yamahata, later reported that the creatures were both approximately 4 feet tall and were clad in glowing or reflective silver uniforms.
We've seen this before with the Grinning Man. Space fashion at the height.
Also, the Metal Man of Fault.
The Metal Man.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's pretty
All right.
standard.
Cool.
They also depicted the entities as having large pointed ears, uncovered feet ending in 2 protuberances. That's their quote. They also had a wrinkly dark brown epidermis. So, all right, we got a silver suit, no shoes,
Okay.
big ass protuberant toes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Big words for a second grader, but word.
Yeah, well, you know they're Japanese.
Yeah.
They're better educated
Again,
than us.
like the Swedish, better
Yeah.
educated.
And big giant pointy ears
Right.
and super wrinkly face. Like they couldn't see eyes, they couldn't see a nose.
Like Sharpay, wrinkly, just like
Yeah,
weird.
like I did an illustration of it based on their drawing, the
right.
eyewitness drawings, and they were actually pretty good for kids, and so you'll get a vibe of it. It'll be with this thing.
wrinkly skin, kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
It's
Like
They're
weird,
wrinkled.
Like elephant.
It sounds like that asshole from the He-Man movie, but shorter. Remember that guy that had the key? He was never in the.
Oh, the wizard guy. Yeah.
He had the point. He's like He-Man. Dude who was never in the
He
toys.
was the shit version of Orko.
Yeah, but he wasn't Orko, but he was- I think he
was
took
never
the
there.
place.
Yeah, I can forget the guy's name. Somebody email us and tell us his name. We could Google it.
I don't
but we're
know.
not
It's
going to.
irrelevant. What a
Yeah.
piece of shit
it's
movie.
pretty awesome. Yeah,
yes.
no, I mean it's an awesome
Look
character,
at-
shitty movie.
Skeletor ruled, okay? And they marched
Yeah,
down
Frank
the street
Langella
in
did
victory.
a pretty solid
All right.
job, and considering that you couldn't CG out his nose, the makeup is admirable.
Dude, when they are
No, they
marching
tried
down
at
the
least.
street
Yeah.
in victory,
The movie should have taken place in fucking Eternia,
and
and I think we can all
Skeletor's
agree.
forces consisted
Yeah,
of
that
quite
sucked that it
possibly
didn't.
8 people.
8 people.
But I don't care.
Yeah, it was like
still
2 dudes on
cool.
some sleds.
Yeah.
Army of 7. Fuck off, Skeletor.
Yes.
All right, He-Man aside.
All right. So they have large pointed ears, 2-toed feet, wrinkly dark brown epidermis. The creatures' faces were also smothered in furrows so dense that they obscured any noticeable features, save 3 distinct, nearly 2-inch long metal fangs. So basically, it's a pile of wrinkles on the face, except for 3 metal fangs. Just 1, 2, 3.
The only like discernible feature is just these metal fangs.
Yeah, these shiny
man, wow.
steel teeth.
But
nearly
you
2
can
inches
see
long.
wrinkly skin, but nothing. But you can't see.
It's just folds. Do we have a picture?
Like,
that
I
we can show?
understand, but like, well, how can you see the folds
Here,
and not?
take a look at what
let's
they
see that.
basically. It looks kind of like a scummy mummy.
Oh, that looks like that sounds like a mad ball.
It does too.
Scummy mummy or garbage pail kid or whatever.
Totally.
Okay, yeah, well that makes
All
sense.
right, yeah, totally.
The boys also claimed that the being that emerged from the craft was carrying a long object slung over its left shoulder, which they stated resembled a rifle. So he's packing heat. He's got no eyes. He's got three
Okay,
metal
mummy
teeth.
goblin with
Mummy
a rifle.
goblin with big giant Spock ears.
Cool.
The strange visitor surveyed the terrain outside the saucer, outwardly oblivious to the spellbound duo openly ogling it. Oblivious that was until it sharply turned and placed one of its clawed, four-fingered hands, quote-unquote, onto Yamahata's shoulder, patting him twice and uttering a
What?
series of sounds that sounded to the boys, and this is another quote, like a tape recorder running backward. A little like the Vegetable Man.
I was gonna say it was
A
something
little
else
bit.
we did.
Yeah,
did
a little
that.
bit like
It's
the
a vegetable
Vegetable
man.
His voice was going forward, though. It sounded like a
They
sped
got
up
that
recording.
close to the kids that he's just like, yeah.
And the two
Yeah,
pants
yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
weird.
So
I know I
okay.
didn't make the right sound, but yes.
Right.
Just yeah, exactly. I knew Chris could do it. I knew it. I was hoping.
Hey, kids, here you go. Just get the
Yeah,
hell
what are
out
you
of
doing?
here.
What's going
No
on?
Big deal. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, like-
I'm Ray.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
That's John in the
Yeah,
cockpit.
Larry's in there with the buttons and levers.
Buttons and levers.
Buttons and levers.
So, at this point, Yamahata, the one who was tapped gently twice, collapsed to the ground, later claiming he was paralyzed with terror.
Okay, well-
Understandable. I mean, you got a scummy mummy super space goblin touching you.
Yeah, he's in second grade. I get
Yeah,
it.
he's
I
scared.
mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm from a different generation, but I don't know if I'd necessarily collapse in fear.
oh.
Are you saying Japanese boys from the 70s weren't hard enough for you? Do you know they were all
Wow,
orphans?
really?
Have you ever watched any of their TV? Every single one of them was
Yeah,
an orphan.
none of them grew up with the
As a
proper
goddamn-
supervision.
No.
As a goddamn baby boomer,
Yeah.
my generation knows what to do.
Oh my God.
You're just
You know
making shit up
nothing.
now.
That's
Of
for
your
all
generation.
you baby boomers out there.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
I'm joking. No,
I know.
but
My parents porked after a war. I'm special.
yeah,
Yeah.
let me tell you everything that's wrong. In all seriousness, though, I could totally see being a second grader freaking the fuck
Oh my
out.
God.
Yeah, and it's
Yes.
totally understandable. So-
Absolutely. It's totally legit. But here's where the mettle of this generation is proven. As soon as Yamahata fell to the ground, Kawano, exhibiting a commendable degree of courage for one so young, rapidly pulled his friend up onto his shoulders and carried him away from these potentially vampiric alien assailants.
Wow, his buddy's a man.
Yeah,
he's like, we gotta
you're
get out of
down?
here.
Get
Yeah.
on my shoulders! I'm gonna Saving Private Ryan your ass out of
All
here.
right, so maybe this kid is the actual baby boomer.
Yeah,
This
clearly.
is the kid is the baby boomer. Yeah,
He's the tough ass.
he is. All
Super
right.
tough ass super. All right. Upon returning to the estate, the now almost hysterical boys immediately informed their mothers about this bizarre close encounter. Their curious, yet almost certainly incredulous mothers followed their clearly perturbed sons back to the back of the apartment where, much to their shock, they confirmed seeing an orange, strobe-like light pulsating in the vineyard.
Oh, so it was verified by the adults.
By the moms, yeah.
Ooh, see, now I feel bad for the kid that freaked out and passed out.
Well, his friend was there.
Yeah, no,
Saved
but
him.
still.
The boys tried to convince their mothers to investigate the area, but they sagely decided to keep their distance from the inexplicable object. The parents later testified that the unusual light show continued for another 5 minutes before the UFO rocketed skyward with a burst of light so brilliant that the eyewitnesses were compelled to avert their eyes. So it's strobing, orange, boop,
Right.
boop, boop, and then all of a sudden, pow, up like a shot.
And we have eyewitnesses now.
Yeah.
In this case. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
I like it.
It should be noted that while Yamahata and Kawano were the only ones who have actually seen the alleged extraterrestrial entities, their classmate, 8-year-old Ichiro Minagishi, also reported spying a shining saucer flying towards the Hinode housing estate while riding in a car with his parents near the Kofu bypass, approximately 1/2 hour before the boys claimed to have encountered the UFO. Later, other witnesses, including a janitor and a local woman, spied a UFO while driving in the area at approximately the same time.
All right, so we've got a
So
lot
we've
of
got-
collaboration going on here.
Yeah,
There's some
Yeah.
stuff here. There's some stuff.
Additional eyewitnesses.
Okay,
Yep.
so we've
There's some
got
meat. There's some meat in the
yeah.
story.
The following day, Kawano and Yamahata had a captivated audience of students and teachers at the Yamashiro Elementary School as they drew pictures of the beings and retold the harrowing tale of their alien encounter. It wasn't long before alien fever had infected the entire student body, and in an effort to quell the escalating mania among the students, schoolmaster Nobuyoshi Kaneko.
Kaneko.
That's a great, I know. For any kaiju fan, Kaneko means a lot to you. With what appears to be a surge of open-mindedness, decided that they would inspect the area for themselves.
Well, shit.
All right, so you're getting UFO mania, but you're like, you know what? Let's turn this into a learning
Yeah,
moment.
it's
Let's get the
let's
kids
make,
out
let's
there.
make this a field trip.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
let's
sounds,
do some soil samples.
This is an episode of Kamen Rider. I'm
Totally.
convinced.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
Just without him. But like,
we're one metal hero away from it being a proper.
Yeah.
But there's actually a possible tenuous connection. We're gonna
there's
get to that.
something. Yeah, there's definitely a thing.
The school officials armed with whatever scientific paraphernalia they could get their hands on made their way to the scene of the event. Upon their arrival, they noted that 2 solid concrete posts had been pushed over at the landing site. It was determined that the boys would not have been able to accomplish this task of ostensibly intergalactic vandalism on their own. So these heavy, well-planted posts
Knocked over.
pushed down by the UFO. The kids couldn't have done it. It's part of their
Okay.
ruse.
So we have some evidence.
So they say.
Okay.
The investigative team also discovered what they referred to as quote-unquote landing traces, including soil impressions that were fairly deep, so indicating that something heavy had landed, as well as a ring pattern in the dirt near the broken concrete posts where the UFO had allegedly landed. One school teacher even claimed to have discovered radioactivity within the circular patch. So apparently someone brought their own Giga counter.
Okay. Cool.
Following the event, both boys were questioned in depth by their parents, their teachers, and noted UFO investigator Masuru Mori. Their stories remained disturbingly consistent. So they weren't fucking changing it. They weren't embellishing it. They're just
Right.
saying what they saw.
yeah.
Okay.
Not surprisingly, when asked what the orange lights might have been, authorities at the Civil Aviation Bureau of Transportation Ministry.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
a fucking mouthful.
Wow, that's a title.
First off, doesn't it suck that America doesn't have ministries?
All right, so is this the
Yeah,
part?
no, I know.
Is this the group where remember in Shin Godzilla where they have all their board meetings?
That's
It's
exactly what I was
certainly one of
thinking.
them.
Are
Yeah.
these the people that had that crazy spoiler alert set up with the different trucks that would eventually?
I don't know if
Smash
that
into
is
Godzilla
specifically the
and
Civil
blow 'em up.
Aviation Bureau of Transportation
Okay,
Ministry,
cool.
There was
but
about
I'm sure they were
5 or
involved.
6 different ministries.
Oh, yeah.
Within 45 minutes
It
of
was
that
a
movie. though.
cavalcade of bureaucracy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good.
Okay. They claimed that the UFOs were nothing more than the lights of a YS-11 propeller plane, which often flew at an altitude of 1,000 meters and was visible to the naked eye. They apparently reserved comment as to whether or not the aircraft could also assume the form of small, pointy-eared fanged humanoids. They can't.
Fair.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's
Some bullshit.
a different
All
ministry.
right, so here's the little touch that brings it back to Toku Land, which is a favorite place for all of us to
Totally.
visit. Skeptics, including researcher Bintaro Yamaguchi, have noted that an extraterrestrial known as Alien Hook, which appeared in a 1968 episode of Japan's popular tokusatsu television series Ultra 7, something Chris and I
Yeah, you remember.
have
Ultra 7 was good.
faithfully gone through, and it's wonderful, bears at least a superficial resemblance to the Kofu humanoid, minus the metallic fangs. And I've got to say, I included a picture of this entity. Yep, you can show it to Chris in the article. It does look an
I remember
awful
that.
lot like what the Alien Hook.
Yeah, it kind of does. I mean, like the wrinkly face.
The big pointy
Yeah.
ear, the wrinkly face, the lack of metal fangs is notable.
Yeah.
But just because 8 years before, or however many years before, a TV show happened to come out that had a wrinkly faced, big eared alien doesn't mean that that is specifically what these two 7-year-old
No,
kids
it
saw.
doesn't. But can you imagine growing up in Japan and just having all that wealth of
Just
amazingness in your
Glory
imagination
every day.
Yeah.
Just an episode of Kamen Rider or Ultraman or whatever. And Azuman. I mean, it goes on. And then every day you're seeing the glories of great, masked monster work and
So-
everything else. Oh.
So we can see how the kids could.
It's a possibility.
Could
That's
make that
something-
connection.
And that's why I included it in the article
No,
and
it's
why
good.
I mentioned
It's
it.
good.
Because
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's
the
important.
resemblance
Yeah.
is a little uncanny.
Okay, but we do have multiple adults that are seeing this. They didn't see the little tiny fanged humanoid dudes.
No.
But they did see this orange light, and the people did see a UFO. So there is that. Now, again, could that be the YS-11 propeller plane at a low altitude? Yes, that possibly could be.
Only when it was seen flying.
Right.
So maybe the
Right.
8-year-old kid that saw a light or the janitor and the local woman, possibly
Yeah.
once they heard there was a UFO landing and they're like, oh, I saw something in the sky.
Right.
And maybe. I'm not even saying for sure because they could have also seen a UFO.
Because the only two witnesses to the actual aliens themselves are these two kids.
The two kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
But their
All right.
moms noticed the strobing orange light from the vineyard, the explosion of light, and the ascending UFO.
Right, which is
that
an
is
important
something
part.
that is definitely
Yeah.
not a propeller plane.
No,
Right.
definitely not.
Which is which straight land to air.
Yeah.
Takeoff.
Yeah, there was no there's no taxiing down the runway of the vineyard.
No.
So
No, just boofed.
all right, well, I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely a super weird, cool kind of case where it's just kind of funny that they get out of the craft. The dude who has like a rifle, whatever, just pats the kid in the shoulder, says his piece, and
Yeah.
then what? He's just like, all right, we're out. See ya.
Well,
Gets
they
back in
didn't. Who knows when they left? They didn't leave for a few minutes anyway.
Right.
I mean, they might have been there to get soil samples. That's often a feature of extraterrestrial landings. They're digging up dirt. So maybe this thing was like a super advanced techno shovel, and the kids just thought it looked like a rifle. I mean, they're
Right.
7. Who
Right.
knows? So there's these two entities. They're on this little scout ship. They're like, get some earth dirt, see how it works, do your
Right.
shit, or whatever the hell they were doing. You know, they see it. Maybe this creature's trying to give a comforting word. Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Don't
I know
worry,
I
dude, it's
look
cool.
all fucked up, but don't
Yeah.
worry about it. And it's just like all squiggle voiced, and he
Might
gets
be-
touched by the super claw, and he
Might
fucking
be
loses his
something
mind.
that might be something that we would do if we landed on an alien planet and you guys are inside working the levers and I got to get out of the ship to get the alien dirt and I'd come across some little alien creature. I'm like, hey, little buddy, what's going on?
You would know better than to
guys?"
touch it, though.
Yeah, I would actually touch it. No.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
I
know,
would send
man.
Chris out. I'd be like, Chris,
Touch and comfort it.
Yeah.
Touch and comfort it.
I know.
hug it like it's a cat.
You would have to. Automatically, you get voted for that because you have kids.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'd have to-
true.
yeah,
Yeah, you know how to deal with the little ones.
That would be my deal on the expedition.
Yep.
Damn it. Even in space, I gotta be a dad.
But then again,
Sweet.
if we could make it to another planet and not be able to detect life anywhere near us,
Right.
I don't know how good we
But
really
maybe
are.
they
at
didn't
tech.
give a fuck. Like often,
Maybe they didn't give a
Often
fuck.
extraterrestrials don't seem to give
Fucks.
any fucks.
Well,
at
clearly
all.
they don't. Apparently, in real
Yeah.
life.
They're going to land, they're going to dig some dirt, or they're going to take a rock, or they're going to fucking offer you a pancake, or they're going to do whatever the fuck they do with no regard.
Suck your blood.
Any more
Yep.
than we would care, like, if we had some shit to do in the woods, we would not be discussing at length, all right, what are we going to do if we see a deer? Are we going to tell them it's cool? Or, we wouldn't give a shit. We're like, we're going to do something in the woods. There's going to
Yeah.
be deer. They're going to run away or deal
Right.
with us. It doesn't matter to us.
No, it's true. I just feel like when it's an alien planet, maybe the parameters are a little different.
You'd think, because you know what? Because we have we grew up with Star
Maybe.
Trek and Prime Directives, and you show some respect for the indigenous population, but there's no reason to assume that they have these
Yeah,
protocols at all.
these wrinkly,
I know.
fang-toothed dudes, they just kind of like patted the kid in the shoulder, talked real weird, and they didn't hurt him, they didn't abduct him.
Violent.
No, they were just like,
but,
hey.
but we don't know that they didn't have that intention. I mean, maybe him passing out in sheer terror was sensing the danger. And maybe his buddy, that flight or fight response, hefting him on the shoulders and getting him the F out
That
of
kid is
Dodge.
the hardest second
But
grader
sure, but
in the
I mean,
world.
I feel like they could have done something at that point, stopped him maybe.
Well, yeah, or use their super rifle
you would
or
think that
whatever.
the-
So the kid just drops, and the other kid, he has to take the time to lift the other kid up. So
Right,
the
get the hell out of
mummy
there.
Fang is just watching.
Yeah, like
Yeah, no, I mean,
He's
If
like,
that-
"All right,
if that happened."
Well, this went bad. We're gonna go back home. Like we've apparently upset the
things
native
went south.
the native population. The kid is collapsed.
plus it is like 8 or 9 year olds too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7
I mean-
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are adults that are seeing some activity, but I can kind of questioning if this is just the overactive imagination of kids or if they're
but
making it up.
I know what you're saying, and I think there's
just seems-
something legit. But I always loathed it when I was a child, and even as an elder statesman, I loathed
You
it too.
saw it in the movie, the
Dismissing
disbelief.
kids.
I know.
Yeah.
Dismissing
I know,
kids.
I know,
it goes
I
right
know.
back to the Blob or Invaders from Mars, where no one believes the kid.
Right.
The kids are just young punks starting up, stirring trouble, don't give fucks, and you can't trust what they say any more than I think every time someone's drunk that they hallucinate. To me, it's like if you have a beer and see a Bigfoot, you probably still saw something weird. You don't hallucinate. You just, and even if you're sloppy shit-faced, you still don't probably hallucinate. You just can't be reliable anymore.
Right.
But I don't think just because they're kids, I'm going to dismiss out of hand.
Okay.
The
All right.
roller
No, I get
skating,
it.
they see some crazy shit. They kick off the skates. They run back to check it out. It's some weird, effed up. And, ugly doesn't mean evil. We know that.
Yeah.
We're not here to be judgy. Rod Serling, has taught us well.
Yeah.
It's the irony of the ugly alien is that they could be good and the beautiful thing could be very dangerous.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they're also not dangerous. We just don't know.
Well,
They could have
you
been the
just don't
scouting
know.
expedition of a big invasion party that's, because of space-time bullshit, is only going to arrive when we're in our fucking 80s.
That
And they'd
could
be
be
like,
too.
those sons of bitches.
They got us.
Yeah.
The long game.
I guess they are rifles. And dangerous ones at that.
I guess they were
Mowing us
weapons.
down in the streets.
Oh,
Nice.
the fanged humanoids.
That would
I think
suck.
it's a
I don't
little
wanna
long
say.
of a name. Fanged humanoids of Kofu. I probably
Yeah,
could have done a
sounds
little
kinda
better
cool. No,
with
I think
that.
it sounds kind of cool.
But,
So
but
have their-
Japan rules, and I love it. And Japan in the 70s
I know,
especially
it's tough
rules.
not to see that if you're growing up with those shows. Like,
have there
that's
been
exactly what I expect you to see.
My name is Ryan Sprague. When I was 12 years old, I saw something in the sky that I couldn't explain, and I've been searching for answers ever since. And now I want you to join me on that search. As part of Entertainment One's podcast network, this is the Somewhere in the Skies podcast. Every week I sit down with people in all walks of life to discuss UFOs, the paranormal and esoteric, and just plain weird. From the worlds of academia, psychology, theology, science and tech, entertainment and art, and everything in between. We dig deep back here on the ground to find those ever elusive answers somewhere in the skies. New episodes every Monday, available on all major podcast outlets and at somewhereintheskies.com. Remember, keep your feet on the ground, but never stop searching somewhere in the skies.
Of course.
Yeah. Have there been any other reportings or sightings of similar aliens?
There are other obviously there are a lot of reportings. Let's break it down by what they are.
Okay.
Small, tons. That's the vast majority.
Right,
Either
tiny.
small or very tall.
Right.
Big-eared, all right, that's a nightmare
it's
sound.
Chris's train.
Scared the
God
shit out of me.
damn it, ghost train.
Well,
That
it's, I
startled
mean,
me
it's,
too.
it's not a ghost. It's literally right out the window.
I
there's
think I feel like I can see through it. And if I can see,
No.
it's a translucent ghost train.
no,
It's just not when you're expecting the noise. All of a
the
sudden,
air
you just,
brake goes. And
All
then
right.
y'all get scared.
Back on point. Big ears, fairly common. Mummy type faces, more common than you'd fucking think.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
There's
Interesting.
mechano mummies and weird bandagey faced things, or that, or super wrinkled. Even the Pascagoula abductors,
Oh, yeah,
with the
the-
pointy nose and
Yeah,
ear
yeah,
things
yeah.
and antennae. They had a super wrinkle face that the eyewitnesses described as elephantine.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people say, "Oh, it looks like a mummy." Sometimes they say it looks like an elephant's ass. But wrinkle-skinned aliens are
Interesting.
Now, I wouldn't say the most common by a stretch, but fairly common.
Yeah. All right. Well.
3 metallic fangs? I don't know about that anywhere
Yeah,
else.
that's kind of fucked.
That's a new one to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it could be a fairly common species type from a certain region of the cosmos, as far as
Right.
I fucking know. I don't know. But,
Nebula M.
yep.
It's where everyone's got
Nebula
around
M
his
Space
faces.
Hunter. So yeah,
So there's some features there that are shared, some similarities with other UFO encounters, which is kind of cool, which is working in their favor.
and I also think what works in their favor is Ichiro Minagishi, I think his name was, seeing a UFO within a half hour.
Yeah.
Plus the janitor, plus the woman, plus most importantly, their mothers,
yeah.
watching. Apparently, it turns orange when it moves, and it's metallic when it's parked. Seeing it explode upwards from the
Right.
vineyard. So, to me, even though none of that confirms the actual existence of these humanoids, that all lends credibility to the fact that there was a real UFO encounter.
Something happened.
Something happened.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like,
Like,
out of the ordinary.
something was
Yeah.
definitely there. Now, detecting radiation in the landing is interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
if
that
it's
wasn't
more than
completely.
normal background radiation.
That's claimed, but that's not backed, right?
Yeah,
That
you
was-
know,
it just
teachers
said somebody-
literally went out there. I think one of them had a Geiger counter or Geiger counter. How do you say that?
I know, I
How
was
do you
saying
say it?
Geiger,
I
maybe, I
switch
don't
back
know.
and forth. And one of them had a fucking tape measure, which
Okay.
sounds ridiculous and underprepared, but you do want to measure how big these landing, even though they didn't report what it was. So thanks for nothing. But
Well,
so
yeah.
they turned it into a learning experience, which is awesome. They took the panic and the frenzy that was starting in the school and turned it into a learning experience, which I think is one of the most brilliant things. I think that if there's a moral to the story is, yay on those teachers.
Yeah.
Good fucking job. Don't just tell them to shut up, or don't be intrigued by your classmates' encounter with an extraterrestrial. Who cares? Focus on math. They're like, oh, F it. Let's go check out the UFO site.
Yeah.
That's boss.
Another reason to go back in time and go to Japan.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
we
announcement, Chris and I eventually are going to go back in time to Japan and live out the rest of our lives.
I'm just not sure when.
We just don't know when it's going to happen.
Could be various decades.
We've known this for a long time now. We just don't know when it's going to happen. So if the pod spontaneously stops, it's because Chris, I, and Mark's son Charlie, who will breed prolifically in Japan.
Either that
someday.
or somehow we just get Mark's DNA.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we do. Oh, yeah. We might.
Well,
or you might come with us. Maybe you're laying pipe all over Japan. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
Your wife's going to be so mad.
Yeah, no.
No,
kind of want to keep my family together.
We take past Dad into the past.
Like a time replica.
But then,
that's fine.
Then future Dad doesn't exist and he doesn't make his babies.
Oh, this is Doctor Who technology.
That's not necessarily
Maybe
how
we
that
just
works.
clone the Dad.
Okay, we can do that.
Are you going to come with us?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, probably not. It's going to be weird. Well, anyway, we're not going anywhere soon. Sorry to lay this on you guys.
We'll let you know when this happens.
We won't, but
Nice.
Mark will let you know when we suddenly disappear. You'll know where we went at least.
So, as far as these aliens that these kids saw,
The Kofu humanoids.
and there hasn't been anything reported afterwards.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this is like one of the one and dones. But unlike most of our one and dones, this actually has like other people witnessing.
Yeah, it's not just
not the humanoids, but the
some
UFO, which is kinda
phenomena.
cool.
Jennings in the woods with his
is-
crossbow.
yeah.
It's a pile of people saw something that seems to be related to what two kids saw.
Okay.
And two mothers confirmed, at least in terms of the vehicle.
Right.
Those are like, I'm not saying they're unimpeachable, but those are like confirmed 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids, that saw the same ostensible phenomenon in terms of the UFO.
So I guess the big question here
I don't even know really if it
is-
wasn't, aside from the kids seeing the things, like what anybody else could have seen.
What
Like,
I was
what
going to
could-
say is what.
as
Let's
far as
start
the
this off
craft,
with our
like, what
checklist
the hell
of
could it really
what
have been?
could this be?
Okay. This one is probably not diabetes. I don't think these 2 random kids were suffering from childhood hallucinations brought on by blood sugar levels.
Probably not.
So, of course, we got to acknowledge that it could be a hoax, but I don't, unless the mothers were involved or somehow perpetrating it, and then everyone else in the community was like, I saw a light.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a light too.
Yeah, but there was like the imprints and heavy things, and there's
and
a lot
radiation.
Of, yeah, there's
more
a lot
than
of
But
normal background
when
radiation.
something this happens, everybody wants to get on board. Next thing you know, UFO mania hitting the town.
True, but
Everyone got UFO hats.
I don't know any. I don't have any stories about this becoming. I mean, yes, it hit the national media and it spread pretty well, and maybe somebody monetized it somehow. But I don't know of any like great Kofu merchandising schemes.
Right. Right. Well, the plan may not have popped off what they thought it was going to pop off. Maybe they thought we were going to get some sweet toys out of this, get our own sneaker line, a couple cool T-shirts,
Could you
funny
imagine
hats,
your Kofu alien
some
sneakers?
awesome, Halloween masks or whatever.
Yeah.
They did make great toys. Japan, the master of toy
yes.
making.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez.
The best toys ever.
They've definitely made a lot of fascinating toys based on real alien and cryptozoological creatures, or ostensibly real, and so you get these great. And I'm sure there's Kofu humanoid toys, and there's all sorts of shit out there.
So
because Japan rules.
it could have been a hoax. It could have been.
I don't think it was, though.
No, but the possibility is always there.
Yep. So
Always
dismissing
possibility of a
hoax and dismissing medical hallucination.
Right.
Yeah.
What could
It almost has to be extraterrestrial.
I mean, I don't know why you could I mean, somebody. I can't think of any way that you could even like.
This is not a hoax.
See something and like.
It's pretty complex.
Mistaken it for
in terms
something
of,
else.
and by hoax I mean not a hoax perpetrated by
Right,
2
right.
kids lying, but a hoax perpetrated on 2 kids.
Right.
Because
Right.
I don't think someone just erected a tinfoil and cardboard spaceship and had really complex masks,
Yep.
touched, made a weird sound, waited for them to run away, and
a
then
long
had
way to go.
fireworks,
Yeah.
like Roman candles exploding upward,
Yeah.
It's a long way to go.
implying a UFO
Maybe.
taking off.
Maybe it was like 6 bottle rockets
I know, but legendary.
with report.
6 rocket.
All right, so
I'm
yeah.
saying I think this shit is some legitimately weird
It's-
stuff
it-
that
it- well, it
demands
is.
more research. And I can't say unequivocally I think it's true, but I
Right.
can say it's certainly intriguing. I love it. This falls right into that pattern of just weird shit that allegedly came to Earth that we all adore.
Yeah, totally.
And I think there's something to it. I think there's something at least interesting enough about it. I can't get a handle on one convenient thing, because you could dismiss the kids, you could dismiss the moms, you could even dismiss the other eyewitnesses, but all of it together makes it much harder to dismiss it all in one fell swoop.
yeah, no, I agree.
Well, there's a lot involved.
I agree.
A lot of things happen. A lot of things people saw
Yeah.
close to each other.
All right. Well, I mean, so we're just going to say it's a UFO? It's an alien?
Well, it's definitely unidentified,
Well, yeah, totally.
so it is a UFO.
Yeah.
Is it interdimensional, extraterrestrial, hyperterrestrial,
No.
inner Earth,
Uber terrestrial,
hypo
hypo-terrestrial.
terrestrial?
Hypoterrestrial. Wow.
What does that mean,
Oh.
Raj?
Hypoterrestrial?
Yeah, you're the expert. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Do you,
I mean,
get, do you get injected with terrestrials?
Interdimensionally speaking, I mean,
Well,
obviously
you are
there could be
go-to interdimensional guru.
Well, because that's just where the truth lies sometimes.
Well, duh.
Sometimes it's just different dimensions crossing over into one another.
Boy,
Ooh.
that's a convenient catch-all.
Oh, it's super convenient.
love it.
It's the
That's
yeah.
why I
Like
like
a portal opens, it comes from wherever.
Yeah,
It's
and then you know
here.
what happens? The portal closes and it goes back, and
That's
no one's
it.
none the
Wiser.
wiser.
none
Yeah.
the
Hey,
wiser.
you know
just-
the
No one's
nothing.
Let me flip through my book of sayings.
Oh no, you did
Oh,
it!
quips and aphorisms.
I know.
There's a portal that opens up and see that there's a fucking ship comes out. I can't even do it.
You always go.
I start getting spit in my mouth.
I know.
I totally
Yeah,
get spit in my mouth.
Yeah, saliva choking.
All right, so interdimensionally speaking,
Yeah.
it's always a possibility
Sure, why not?
that we entertain.
Yeah.
It still fucks me up, though. Why are they always fucking humanoids? They're
I mean, maybe
always-
is that just a shared characteristic amongst the galaxy?
It could
Does that
very
make
well be.
sense?
Yeah.
Is anything
Well,
else
there's
in
some
here?
biologists
Okay.
Of the
claim
Lord.
that.
What?
It's not proof of the Lord.
The Lord, what are you
Hey, I
talking
know,
about?
yeah,
Creates bilateral symmetry, arms and legs, 2 eyes. Well, it doesn't. We don't know how many eyes it has. If it has any eyes.
2. Oh no.
Super folds on your face.
3 fangs. Oh wait, no.
no,
'cause-
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
wait, no,
There goes
no,
the
Doesn't fit
symmetry
either.
out the fucking window there.
No
Fuck that.
armpits. How's that
got
even
no
possible?
armpits.
Yeah.
Does it have like fucking,
think about
like
that.
a venomous elbow like a slow loris?
Jesus. So, lack of armpits, weird skin, totally.
Glowing and or reflective sweet space suit,
Yeah,
apparently.
the spacesuit's another interesting aspect
Right.
of
Yeah,
it
and that's
too.
the other thing. You're wearing this fucking suit that looks all metallic and futury.
That's what I.
Where's your fucking shoes? With your 2 goddamn big toes hanging
Oh
out.
yeah, that's right. The protuberance.
Yeah. If
maybe,
that's
yeah.
what it was. I don't know. It's hard
I
to
don't know,
see.
maybe they don't,
Does Brambley? If it was, maybe they just saw. Who knows?
Well, vineyard. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know. It's February, so I don't know if that's the height of grape growing season or if it's
Right.
pretty abandoned at that
Right.
point. But
Yeah, I guess the suit but lack of boots or shoes is kind of weird.
that
but,
lends
you
more
know,
towards, to me, and again, this is where it becomes a generic catch-all. If you're interdimensional, you can breathe on Earth. If you're extraterrestrial, that's silly. Get a mask.
Yeah.
Get an oxygen tank.
Yeah, exactly.
You're from another goddamn
Yeah,
planet.
for the love of
Yeah.
God.
But if you're from another Earth,
Yeah,
you can breathe
you're
good
fine.
old-fashioned Earth air.
Chewbacca
Well, yeah.
never wore boots. No one ever questioned him.
No. Or pants.
Yeah.
Just a fucking bandolier.
I mean, granted, he was in a movie, but
Yeah.
whatever. Who
It's
cares?
just a big space Sasquatch.
We're just using it as a example of boots or no boots. Dude,
This is a
you do you.
goddamn genuine alien encounter, and I'm standing by.
All right, you know, I mean,
That could be.
I'm interested.
not.
I kind of want to know more. I kind of want to know. I want some more information
Could
on
be.
it, but
Or
Or
not.
not.
Or not.
I mean,
Believe it, or you're
the
stupid.
only thing though working against these kids is that it was featured in on that TV show.
It looked a lot like
It looks an awful
Its face
lot.
is super wrinkly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this. I feel like this is the chupacabra effect.
It could be something to it. Or is it
Could
a
be.
hyper-terrestrial emulating something that is common to its culture to make itself seem more appealing to the children it's presenting itself to?
I mean, boy, is that a stretch, but I like it.
Why not?
I like it. I enjoy it.
That's the magic of ultra terrestrials.
Well,
They are fucking tricksters, and they can
I
look
feel
like
like
a
if
flying fucking.
I know,
boat.
but I
They
feel
can
like
do
if they were
whatever
going to
want.
they should have done better research.
Oh yeah, no, it always seems sloppy. It always seems like it's teenagers that don't give a fuck. It never feels like it's like, all right, we're gonna land here. We're gonna do a real serious mission. We're gonna present ourselves in a way that's gonna be really appealing to these people, and everything's gonna be fine, or they won't notice at all. It's always this really clusterfuck of like weird looking faces and terrifying the locals.
That's what I mean. It's like
and
this
they don't seem to be doing
bumbling
anything. Like, I'm gonna grab
disaster.
3 rocks and a fucking condom, and I'm gonna fucking go away.
Yeah, I know. It's like Seth Rogen plans out all these away missions. Like he fucks them up completely. You're like,
nice.
dude, like why? We just want to look like a bush, and
Why do you have 7 legs and fucking
yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, I think there you have it.
There you have it.
Honestly, I think that's it. That's what we got. We got the.
They need
Kofu
to get on the
humanoid.
ball. They need to get their shit organized. They need a good bureaucracy to really start planning
Actually,
this
real
shit.
quick, what year was this again?
75.
Okay,
I believe.
75. All right, cool.
February 23rd.
Wow, look at
How did you know that?
Because that was
Jones.
it's a year and 1 day after I was born.
Oh,
Really?
look at that.
Oh.
Were you there?
Well, yeah.
Were you
what's the
involved
deal?
with
A
Kofu,
year
Chris?
I
and
was a
one
year and
day
1 day.
after you were born,
That's
so you were
true.
technically on the Earth. What were you doing?
I was on the Earth.
What were you doing?
Yeah, can you fucking tell us about your whereabouts?
What were your whereabouts?
What were you doing in Kofu?
I'm not saying I have a shiny silver costume with a melty brown face mask. But maybe I do.
Little infant baby Chris scaring people in Japan.
Oh,
Man.
adorable.
I don't know.
Could be. All right, so that is the Fanged Humanoids of Kofu. So, you know what? Contact us. Let us know what you think. A lot of you guys out there have some pretty cool different information on stuff like this tied to other cases that occasionally they shoot
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, let us know.
The more information we
Get
have,
at
the more
us.
we can create connections between all
Yeah,
of these
totally.
disparate events, even if they are tenuous and grasping at straws. That's half the fun. That's half the joy, and that's where
The
some
joy.
Unexpected truths reveal themselves.
And that's kind of what this is all about.
Oh my
is-
God.
Unrevealed truths.
Unrevealed truths, unrevealed truths, grasping at straws, and just taking a shot in the dark.
Oh, is that our new mission statement?
Yeah.
that really feels like exactly like what we do.
We're gonna make some shit up, and you're gonna agree with it, or
No,
you're not
we
gonna agree with
never
it.
ever make it up.
Well, no,
this
gonna-
is impeccably researched.
We're gonna make up our
That is true.
connections.
Our
Yeah.
conclusions are valid.
No, your research is solid, and then we go and muck it up.
Oh, we sure as fuck
we
do.
go and just shit stomp all
That's
over
the
it.
fun.
That's what we do. All right.
Yeah, but who says it's not true?
Yeah.
It's true.
River dancing our way to the truth.
That's going to do it for the Kryptonaut Podcast. Be sure to follow us on the social medias, Instagrams, Facebooks, and Twitters. Be sure to rate and review this episode on the iTunes and the Apple Podcasts. That helps us out greatly. It helps us with the numbers, and it helps the show grow and reach more listeners like yourselves.
Fucking
Wow.
right. Though it was a little monotone towards the end, but I like the fact you delivered it.
I lost air.
Yeah, you did.
You just kept talking.
I
You didn't
couldn't
stop.
I didn't stop to
I can
breathe.
see you're turning blue in front of us.
He
Exactly.
almost passed out.
Yeah, almost. Thank you for joining us, and we're talking to you soon.
Hey.
Oh, keep it wrinkly. Keep it real.
Oh, keep it weird elbow skin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll weird wrinkly elbow skin.
Fucking odd.
Mummies who
gross.
die.
That shouldn't be on your face.
Yeah.